Hey guys, and welcome back to another video about another World of Warcraft leak. This one is kind of going with the other one that I mentioned and did a video about, the Shadowlands. Now I don't know if this leak is from the same person or just whoever, but it's adding more onto this whole Shadowlands thing. So I mean, people thought Warlords of Draenor wasn't going to happen. They're like, oh, time travel, it's freaking stupid. They're not going to do that. And look what happened. We got Warlords of Draenor. So, same as last time. Don't take it with just a grain. Take it like with a whole freaking bag of salt. But, speculation, bizarre leak reveals screenshot of upcoming cinematic. And this is the screenshot of the cinematic in question. Stormwind Harbor with what appears to be spectral ghost ships. You can see people walking about. Is it fake? I don't know, but it does look pretty cool, in my opinion. We've got all these ships. It looks like there's more coming on the way. We've got little tiny dinghies. But here's the wall of text. Alright, so here's some juicy info on 8.3 in the next expansion. I can't say how much of this 100% accurate. This is stuff I've been able to patch together from the information I got. About the leaked map. Want the leaked map? I'll link my previous video to it below. I talk about the map. And I go through the places and, you know, all that great stuff. So I'll link that below. Make sure you probably watch that before this, because some of them, like some of these places, you won't know unless you see the map. So just go watch it. So about the leaked map, it appears to be a WIP work in progress map. One of the many that were presented during the layout pitch meeting about 1 to 2 years ago. The logo is probably a placeholder suggestion made by the presenter for that particular pitch. It's not unusual for the developers to spice things up. The real logo is always finalized shortly before the actual announcement. Many of the hub names are also placeholders, but the main zone names were predetermined. So, the zone names are like the bigger names, the bolder names, and then all the little teeny tiny names could be placeholders. So hopefully some of them are still there if this is real. Like I said, a whole bag of salt here. The map is actually very representative of the final design of Shadowlands. So far, every zone except for Nikaithos is represented in the development version of 9.0. Because the photo of the Shadowlands map was taken so long ago, probably no one can recall who exactly attended the meeting, and certainly nobody remembers who was sitting where. Accolons to that sounds like bullshit. There might have been cameras, but if that map was shown at many different places, then yeah, it's more likely. That's pretty much what he said. It's more likely that no one can remember if that map was shown at like different places. You know, they're not going to be like, oh yeah, that person was sitting. You know, no one's going to bother. Shadowlands isn't all dark and gloomy. The concept for Zeros and Darkfront is very colorful. The Riftlands feels more like a psychedelic outland. The blood trolls in Morbara are not our enemies. They are actually being tortured for their failure to worship Hakar in life. The zone is not like Nazmir, so troll fatigue is not a concern. Meaning, it's not just trolls. There's like a mixture of things there, apparently. Which, that's good, because BFA was just especially because I understand it's Zandalar and it's home of the, Zandalari trolls, but oh my god, Nazmir, Zuldazar, just trolls. The only kind of difference you got was, Vol'dun and, the cute little Volpera. But other than that, let's see, Mazala Mozala is another. Muzala, however you want to pronounce it. He's also a death god, kind of like Bwansamdi. So, he's present in Morbara, but is weak and afraid of Hakar. He is shapeless because Hakar has destroyed his corporal form. He was said to have no form, so maybe that means Hakar is actually stronger. If he was able to destroy his form, possibly. Nyalotha lies within a pocket universe. That's why it says transit. However, this does not change the fact that the Shadowlands and Nyalotha are now connected. The islands of Nykaithos is the old god's attempt to build a permanent foothold within the Shadowlands, but this plan is foiled by us in the dungeons there. Or the dungeon one. Oh my god. Okay, so 8.3. Okay, let's see here. The last boss of BFA was indeed shown in the Azara's defeat cinematic, and it's more metaphorical than people realize. The last boss is us. Alliance and Horde, as indicated in the last shot of Jada and Lorthamar. Azara and Nazoth are both bosses in the next expansion. We won't be fighting them again, at least physically in BFA. Sylvanas will prepare to strike at Thunder Bluff, tricking both the Alliance and Horde in defending it. During this distraction, she will evade and conquer Stormwind. The latter will be explained through a cinematic released in October. So, she's been trying to conquer Stormwind this whole time anyway, so I kind of see that happening. And we know Thunder Bluff is possibly going to be a target. So, it's always been the plan to finish the expansion with the raid version of Stormwind. Therefore, patch 8.3 includes a 10-box raid within Elwyn Forest, Elwyn, and the city itself, along with a complimentary, all-new 40-player battleground. Which, I mean, PvP, I'm not into PvP, but, I mean, I would, if it's like one of those things where it's for like a limited time and you get something cool out of it, like a mount or something, then yeah, probably I will. In the raid, Horde Alliance players fight alongside important lore characters and leaders from both factions. Sylvanas has already taken Stormwind at this point. The raid is about defeating Sylvanas and reclaiming Stormwind. The first boss is a sort of caravan escort, which would make sense. An Azerite-powered battering ram, made by the goblins and gnomes, will start at Goldshire and travel slowly towards the gate of Stormwind. Waves of ads will attack the ram and attempt to destroy it. So that makes sense. So by this point, Sylvanas has closed off Stormwind, so we have to now find a way to get in. I mean, we could have just flown in, but I guess she's got, you know, stuff up there to kind of prevent us. I can imagine that as we're making our way towards Stormwind, she's got people kind of firing at us or trying to blight us or something like that. The second boss is Old God Aligned and has enslaved city guards and other famous Stormwind NPCs, such as Topper McNabb. Another notable boss is Anduin. Halfway through the raid, he will succumb to the whispers of Nazoth. Maybe. We must fight him until he returns to his former self. Rathian makes a special appearance during this fight. He's probably like... I mean... Rathian... People always put him and Anduin together like they're a couple, so I can imagine he comes in, he's like, Anduin, you must remember who you are. You are the one true king. And then he like plants a little kiss, and Anduin's like, oh, you're right. I'm better now. Thank you for snapping me back to reality, Rathian. He's like, it was my pleasure. And then they share a tender kiss. I'm kidding. Please, actually, honestly, if you guys want to turn that into a, you know, a fanfic, I would love to read that. So, yeah, go ahead and write a fanfic about that. I just set up the premise of it, so just go crazy. Now N'Zoth is trying very hard to keep us from reaching Sylvanas. Well, I kind of, yeah. The 8th boss is Nathanos. This encounter takes place in the Cathedral Square. Tyrande decapitates him at the end of the fight. Which, I mean, why Tyrande and why... Like, why? I mean, Darkshore, yeah, but... The penultimate boss is Sylvanas. She awaits us in Stormwind Harbor. Massive spoilers now, be warned. Now let's scroll down a little bit where it's right there. Sylvanas is the first of 2 encounters. Okay, so this is probably sounding a little bit stupid now. 2 encounters that comprise the grand finale of BFA. Alliance and Horde will fight side by side against Sylvanas until Bolvar eventually appears and starts killing Horde leaders. First to go is Lorthamar. Bolvar will then side with Talia and the Alliance. Sylvanas will shoot Gen in response, prompting the intermission. During the intermission, all the Horde leaders will rejoin Sylvanas. Gen dies, and Anduin and Jaina declare war on the Horde. The final fight begins. I don't see that happening. After what happened with Jaina and Thrall, I don't see her just throwing that away. Why the hell would Bolvar just show up and be like, I'm going to kill you all. I've been killed. Or, I mean, that sounds stupid. I mean, it's a bit far-fetched. But, hey, whatever floats their spectral boats. Where do we go here? Rejoin Indian dies. The final boss is Horde the final boss is the Horde or the Alliance. The encounter is cosmetically unique to each faction, but strategically identical. Horde will win once Anduin is dead, and Alliance will win once Sylvanas is dead. Obviously, they don't die. It's just Horde. I mean, they die. Just like how most people die in the game. Let's see here. Where am I? Okay. The encounter has been designed to have your faction's leader die one by one as the opposing faction's health ticks down. So I guess the further, you start at 100, someone dies, and then the further you get, more and more people die, I guess. The way it seems, maybe. The players will all die as well, like the Arthas fight. So basically, you die, don't hit res because you're supposed to die. With Anduin and Sylvanas being the last one standing. A cinematic will play once the encounter is over, and Anduin will end up killing Sylvanas or vice versa, depending on your faction, only to die his or her wounds, ultimately leading everyone will be dead, and the harbor will be silent. Characters will then wake up in the Shadowlands, and a ghostly fleet of Helia's ships awaits them in the death version of Stormwind Harbor, with Nathanos by her side. Sylvanas declares that we're now strong enough to face the true battle for Azeroth. Okay. A short teaser cinematic starring Gallywix and Megatork will be shown at BlizzCon in November. Gallywix, who fled from the fight in Stormwind, will eventually find King Megatork's escape pod and awaken him from suspended animation. Together, they figure out what happened and construct a device that will allow us to enter and leave the Shadowlands at will. Their cooperation lays the groundwork for the new Tinker class. The device is rumored to be the Dalaran Hearthstone of 9.0, given to us at the end of the introductory questline. It works like Monk's Transcendence ability. Kalia is the interim Forsaken faction leader during the raid. BFA's patch release schedule feels slower because the plan is to make the lead into 9.0 much quicker than ever before after the release of 8.3. So are we going to have an 8.3.5 now? You can have a physical form in the Shadowlands if you were brought there artificially, either by its denizens such as spirit healers or by means of dimensional technology, which is what Gallywix and Mechatork are going to be doing. The Dragon Isle, Shadowlands, and Old Gods have a much deeper connection than one would think. This is explained a lot by the quests and dungeons, but I don't think any specifics besides the shrines in Dragonblight and on the Dragon Isles being connected to the Shadowlands somehow. This connection will also play a major role and be explored in the patches going forward. The Curse of Flesh also plays a role with this. Well, let's see what it says down here. Well, if it's fake, let me have her screenshot. Suppose it's cinematic. A believable leak. I mean, as for this, also zooming in, we find these three. Now I can at least tell who one of them is, and it's either Bane or Kieran. Probably Bane, since you can see it's a Tauren, clearly because of the totems. But the other two, but then again, that looks like it might be Sylvanas. I don't know. But this is kind of going along with the last leak, so it seems too coincidental for it to not actually happen at this point. Like I said, people said the same thing about Warlords of Draenor. They're like, oh, a leak saying time travel, and going back into the past, and old Outland. And people were like, oh yeah, that sounds stupid. It's not going to happen, and then it did. So same thing with pandas. Nobody was expecting Mists of Pandaria. It got leaked, some of it. And they're like, oh, that's not going to happen. That sounds way too stupid. And then what do you know? Mists of Pandaria. So I think it has a pretty good chance of being real still. There's some things like, Bolvar. It's like, why the fuck is Bolvar? I mean, I understand he's the jailer of the damned and he has a connection with the Shadowlands. But why would he just show up and start killing people? I think Akalon said it. Pretty much he thinks that he might show up and start killing people thinking that we're trying to stop the Alliance and kill them when we're actually fighting for them. And it's like, there should be like a moment where he's like, oh man, I just killed Lorthamar for no reason. Oh, sorry fam, I'll just raise you. Sorry dude. Sorry for the, the misunderstanding. You're a Death Knight now though, but at least you're still alive. But I don't know. I mean, Tinker class with everything with Mechagon, maybe. I mean, same. It's like I said, Demon Hunters were also for a while. Like, oh, Demon Hunter, and then we finally got Demon Hunters. So I wouldn't be surprised if we got Tinkers. Would I play Tinker? Maybe not. They don't sound that exciting. But yeah, that's the more of the leak. So let me know what you guys think. Who do you think is the final boss? If it isn't this, if this doesn't actually happen, who do you think is the final boss? What do you think 9.0 is going to be? What do you think the title is going to be? I would love to hear some creative titles. Also, please write me an Anduin and Rathian fanfic. I would love that. And if you do, I will love to read it if you want. I would love to read it on the channel. That'd be great. Other than that, thumbs up, thumbs down, comment, subscribe, all that great stuff. And I will see you guys next time. Bye, guys.